Once upon a time, I used to struggle with my helmet to try and get the sunglasses to look or to fit over my ears and stuff. And then one day, I discovered that I can put the sunglasses on first, then put the head sock, and then put the helmet, and it just works, and I don't have to struggle.
Vibration bridge. 17. Vibration bridge. Said, oh baby, let's do this. Listen, hun. Said, let's do this.
Hey, Jimmy, welcome to the stream, man. So we've got a few minutes before it's really time to go, but I'm going to head out, maybe do a little really super brief driving tour of the paddock.
Extreme 2, Phoenix 1. Said, are you winning?
It's just for fun today, but this next group is sort of the competitive timed lapped event thing, so we'll see.
_Chronics. 18.
It's a little unfair to consider just raw times and winning and stuff. There's a radical in my run group, and there's no way I'm gonna compete with him. But this is an Alfa Romeo Club, a Southern California event, and I think it has the widest variety of cars that I've seen. Most of the time, if I run with like the Porsche Club, it's all Porsches.
Said, so your car isn't stock. Are you got some magic under it?
So there's a radical. Actually, there's no motor under the hood. This car happens to be mid-engine, so the motor's right here.
Said, ROFL, he's in your run room. Greetings. Wizard Shima Street. 18. Greetings. The Brooks Zone. 18. Vibration Bridge. Said, under no but.
Lots of Miatas, but lots of Alphas and stuff. There's a couple Alfa Romeo 4Cs that are really fast. It's a fun car, but it's just not practical, especially compared to this car.
Said, compared when racing, what's the elevation change like?
It's actually remarkably consistent. I couldn't say that it was tremendously different in any significant way. In iRacing, I'm really scared at turn 5 most of the time, but in reality, turn 9, 10 are the ones that get me to pucker a little bit, because the entrance is so wide, your car positioning is difficult.
Extreme 2 Phoenix 1 said, what's the speed?
I hit 100 and, I don't know, somewhere between 110 and 120 on the front straight. It fluctuates a little bit. Sometimes it's only 114, sometimes it's 117. But that is the fastest part.
Hunt said, I don't recognize the profile of that car up there in front of you.
That is an Alfa Romeo 4C.
What is that?
White car is a Porsche, Cayman just like mine, similar. And the Alfa is the silver one. It's a nice car. They're a lot of fun, but it has the front hood doesn't open.
Beautiful car from that angle.
And the trunk in the back is about this size, and it's immediately adjacent to the motor, so there's no
Experience give you an advantage.
there's no insulation of any kind, so if you put anything in there, you have to expect that it's going to get to 180 degrees.
Extreme 2 PMX1 said, so it's like an MX5, just different handling.
So I thought I was going to wait over there, but it seemed like people were actually lining up here, and I don't want to like try and push through or anything.
Vibration Rage said, how are you times preferable by racing? Wow.
I'm slower here than I am in iRacing, certainly. The best time I've ever done in real life is a minute 42. Today's best has been a minute 44. But we don't have the same car in iRacing, so it's hard to say. But it's like I certainly beat that time by quite a bit in skippies and stuff, so.
Vibration Rage said, are you allowed to go as fast as you want?
Yes.
Carrie said, screen ask again, but what do you use to stream like this? Is it a laptop or something?
It's a laptop. It's an old MacBook Pro.
22. CYMM 22.
So it's an old MacBook Pro that I run OBS on. There's 2 webcams. My cell phone has an ancient Verizon Unlimited plan.
Rod Racing 19. Rod Racing said, GULACK Buena Salted Crystal.
Thanks, Rod. Welcome to the stream, man.
Vibration Rage said, Mama love that plan. My ex-wife changed it without asking. Arthur Carey said, nice, maybe there is a way so that I can stream motorcycle track days.
Yeah, I gotta remember to set all my software and stuff so the car doesn't try and keep us from going too fast. But yeah, vibration, you are encouraged to go as fast as you can. In this run group, passing is allowed anywhere on the track, but you have to point by the car. So if I'm behind a slower car and they don't point me by, I'm not allowed to pass unless they point me by and acknowledge, and then we do it safely. So it's not like racing where it's like if I see a gap, I go for it. You have to get, basically the driver in front of you has to acknowledge and tell you when it's okay for you to pass. This morning when they had like the very first run group, the first couple laps were under a yellow flag, so you weren't allowed to pass and you weren't supposed to go 10/10. But the rest of it's been pretty all out.
Streaming from a motorcycle is going to be a nightmare, I suspect. Greetings. TD Carlo, 21. TD Carlo said, what car are we in?
It's a 2010 Porsche Cayman S.
I think as long as you have good cell coverage, you can stream on a bike.
Okay, all systems are go, tire pressures are good, fuel levels good. We almost ran out of gas in the last run group.
Yeah, you can stream on a bike. I'd recommend a phone. Wisenhunt said, don't go crazy. Rod Racing said, or heck, through track Wi-Fi. Arthur Carrot said, the thing would be positioning the phone for streaming. Random Donks said, I would imagine there is some stipulation about having loose camera equipment on motorcycles.
Well, what I need to find is a better forward-facing camera. I want USB, and I want it to work with OBS as like a live view camera. But so far I can't find anything, and like all the GoPros and stuff like that don't support wired USB.
TD Carlo said, this is awesome.
Okay, here we go, guys.
Rod Racing said, I forgot to check how you done it all with Random Donks.
Okay, guys, here we go. Okay, obviously I'm not going to be able to pay attention to you guys, but go ahead and chat all you want, okay? Here we go. There's the checkered flag. It's over.
Jason Sandwick said, bet top 5 all.
Oh, certainly top 5, Jason. Probably not first place, especially with the Radical, but certainly top 5. Woo! Okay, that is a lot of fun, guys.
Ruben Us 1034 said, and no Arduino.
No issues. I did. Okay, so that 28 minutes on track is nearly a half a tank of gasoline. That's crazy. But if you're not going full throttle, you're braking.
Kid Canada said, geez.
So I got the indicator mid-run group that I was almost out of gas again. And by the end of it, the tires certainly were slippery and the
FC101.
The brake was starting to get a little soft. Okay, so let's transfer the track addict data. It looks like the best in there was a 145, which wasn't a personal best for today, but still pretty fast and fun. So Wi-Fi transfer. From the phone to the iPad.
Said, I would be smiling way more than you are now.
No, I'm sorry, man, if I don't seem happy. That was fucking awesome. No, it's great. But my brakes are definitely soft. I think the tires are beginning to go out, and the car was telling me it's out of gas. So I think by all accounts, we're done. So I hope the stream and stuff's held up during that run group. Obviously, I can't tell while I'm driving and stuff, but
your phone.
no, I'm talking on the. So, yeah. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I really appreciate all the support. Welcome to everybody who's new. Thanks for follows and stuff. I'll be back doing my normal VR iRacing and stuff next week.
Was a lot of fun, man.
Cool.
Jason Sandwick said, stream was solid.
Excellent.
TD Carlo
Glad to hear it.
said, it was good. TNR_Chronix said, can't wait for next time.
Sweet. Well, if anybody who's watching doesn't follow already, please do consider hitting the follow button and stuff to get notifications when I'm on again. Normally, I stream iRacing in virtual reality, but I also do autocross and track days and stuff like that. So I really do appreciate you guys and all the support and everything that goes along with that. So I gotta wait till my wheels cool down a little bit. Right now, they're like, if I use the little infrared thermometer thing, I'm sure the brake calipers are around 800 degrees, but the garages are nice because you're here in the shade and there's a little bit of air circulation and stuff, so won't take them too long to cool down. But I gotta swap my brakes and my wheels. The guy in front of me with the Super Miata is a colleague down in San Diego who used to do more autocross, but now he's racing. So he drove up from San Diego with a truck and was able to take my extra set of wheels with him. Because it's great. I can fit everything I need for a racetrack weekend in this car, except for any wheels. So it's a great thing for peace of mind to be running on another set that's not the tires and wheels that I'm expecting to drive hundreds of, or in this case almost 1,000 miles home on. So, but we didn't have any mechanical problems today. We did have to go get gas, but that was about it. Like I said, the brakes are feeling a little soft, but that's kind of expected. I run with high temperature brake fluid, but even that, by the end of a track day like today, certainly the hydraulics start to give out. So anyway, I'm going to sign off for now, but I really appreciate you guys watching and hanging out. I hope the stream quality was good and everything. So take it easy, drive safe, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.